Good evening, lacrosse fans. Goosebumps right there. That is my all-time favorite song right there. Oh, Canada, musical rendition. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2016 U19 World Field Lacrosse Championships. I am Jake Elliott, and happy to be joined for the opening game by Andy Watson, who will join me for color, and obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but an international referee, so you can help me out with some of the rules. It's been since 2008 that I've called a field lacrosse game, Andy, as we'll get that full disclosure out of the way early here. As what a way to kick off the tournament here. Canada, USA, opening ceremonies just wrapping up. Weather not quite cooperating here tonight, Andy, but we're in for a fantastic night. A packed house here at Percy Perry Stadium.
Yeah, well, anytime you have defending champions playing a host nation, you're going to obviously have a bill for a terrific game, and both of these teams have been preparing for months and months. The teams have squared off against each other in scrimmages. I can tell you both teams have been waiting around all day for this to come, and despite the bad weather, everyone's revved up and ready to go, and I think we're in for probably an instant classic here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, I tried to sneak in a pregame nap this afternoon. No dice on that one. Too jacked up for this one. Canada, USA, U19s coming right up as USA will be in their navy blues. Canada will wear their whites with the red numbers, and head coach Taylor Ray for Canada, Nick Myers for USA. And a bit of a story coming into this one, Andy Watson, is they've never gone with a collegiate level coach for Team USA, the 7-time defending champions. But they go with the Ohio State head man in Nick Myers this season.
And he's a guy that knows, obviously, players from both sides of the borders. You know, with Canadians on Ohio State, with Canadians on the U.S. team, he's a guy that's familiar with both. And obviously, you look at what's gone right, what's gone wrong at past international events. And I know the United States not happy about what happened in Denver in 2014, not happy with what happened at the U19 girls and senior women's championship. This one, they've been preparing for this for quite some time, and they want to come away with the gold. They want to make it an 8-peat.
Yeah, pretty much a year-long process here for both teams in the selection process leading up here to July. Of course, these two teams played back in January in Florida for kind of a selection camp tryout, and what a game that was. It went to overtime, some dramatic finish in there as Canada ties it up late with under 6 seconds to go. They tie it at the buzzer. They end up winning in overtime, and if that's any indication on what we're going to expect here this tournament, and it kicks off, and what do you think about that? Canada, USA, the top two favorites meeting each other right off the bat here.
Well, I mean, if you want to see the very, very best, you're going to see the two top-rated teams coming in, and that sets a really good barometer for the tournament. What you're going to see from here, there's 14 teams here for the tournament, 6 newcomers, including Mexico, Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, Ireland playing in their first, and, of course, Israel making their debut as well. Every other team's here watching. They want to see what the very best level is, and what a treat for fans. The good thing from a ticketing standpoint, these guys are going to put on a show, and everyone's just going to want to come back regardless of what the weather looks like tomorrow.
Yes, we are undercover, thankfully. The boys out in the elements, if you will, is the lineup underway. And coming into this tournament, obviously done a lot of research leading up to this, Andy, but until you actually get out there, you see the players, lots of names and numbers to learn here for yours truly, as I'll have the majority of the Blue Division games, upwards about 20 in the next 10 days, but lots of names and numbers to learn as we go along. Give me about a half and I should get it under control. But for all the fans that are out there that are watching on Sports Canada TV, on 2016worldlax.com, I'm going to throw out the Twitter handle. If you're around the country, North America, wherever you may be, give me a follow. If I butcher anybody's name or if I speak some misinformation, don't be shy. I'd like to be interactive during the webcast as much as possible, and you can do so by giving me a follow at PXP, the number 4 Sports. PXP, the number 4 Sports is where you can find me, twitter.com, as the two teams come to center. And we are just about set to go. It'll be Anaccio, the face-off specialist here for Canada, and going up against Feliciani. Here we go. 2016 U19s are underway. Blow the whistle. Let's play some lacrosse. And an early loose ball will be picked up here by Team USA as they'll move back to the goaltender. As that is Clan that gets the start here tonight for Nick Myers, as he is the veteran goaltender on this U19 squad. And rides and clears will obviously be an area to watch here tonight. As Brad Smith crosses center. As USA, Nick Myers likes to play a slow set offense. See a lot of control. And they will not hurry. And of course, international rules, no shot clock here for international rules, but the stall is at the referee's discretion. And it doesn't matter at what quarter or what point in the game, he can put that on at any time. Sowers in behind, an early shot there, skips wide. And USA with backup will retain possession. Sowers will work from behind the cage. Into the left hand. Marked up there by Henrik. Timmy Kelly named captain along with Sims earlier today for Team USA. And a slip on the turf. It is artificial turf here at Percy Perry Stadium. Hard rocket and a kick stop. And the beauty of that is the crowd comes to life. As it's Kaylin Bullen that gets the start here for Taylor Ray's Team Canada. From behind the goal again, and hook shot goes wide. That out of the stick of Mathias.
Pretty aggressive start for the United States here. Some really good early possessions, testing out the Canadian defense, and lots of open space out there. It'll be interesting to see how much this wet weather plays a factor with footing.
Tyler Dunn, high fee, good handle. Into the teeth of that Canadian defense, and they'll reset. There's Sowers. Can go left, can go right. Looks to feed here. And now Mathias. We are quite a ways back off the pitch here, if you will, as well. Right alley dodge, feed into the stack, and a drop, and Canada will finally come up with possession here. Trey Leclerc, who will be off to Ohio State to play for Nick Myers, the Delta BC native, and an early drop here by Canada as the ball will roll out of bounds. Maybe a little bit of nerves early in this one for Team Canada, Andy.
And that's Jeff Teat, son of former National Lacrosse League player Dan Teat from Brampton, Ontario. Of course, a number of these players from Ontario, bulk of the roster. Talking with Dave Huntley and Dean French yesterday, they're really happy with the talent pool they had to choose from this year in making the selections. 4 BC players, Alberta, and then the rest of the team from Ontario. And hopefully lots of you from Ontario watching and enjoying this from home.
Rosner. Sims will get in a change. Dox Aiken. Throw him early onto the all-name team. It is early. No score in this one, as we do not have our clock running at the south scoreboard, and I think Andy Watson is going to take care of that right away. As good stand-up D there from Donville. Oh, a hard hit thrown there by Wagner. And ball will bounce out of bounds. They'll say that as a shot attempt for USA, and they will retain possession. There's quick juke from Sowers. And they'll work from the point once again here with Conrad. Bounce shot, and I think another stop there from Bullen. As USA gets it back, and they've had the majority of possession early in this one. Just the one possession for Canada so far. And they did get down in that game, Andy. What was it, about 8-4, 9-4 as USA on the board. As it's Mathias that opens things up here for Team USA, but Canada down early in that game, almost through the majority of it into the fourth quarter, 9-6, 8-4 in that game before a late push from Canada to tie things up.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's pretty consistent here for Canada to seem to play from behind in these tournaments. But what a nice move there from behind the cage from X. Mathias, nice fake, gets Bullen dropping down, and he's able to lift it up quickly. A nice dodge and roll around the cage.
And of course, we will keep a close eye on the face-off X here. As Ignacio loses this one, but ball's still up for grabs. And USA will control, but they turn it over, and now Canada returns the favorite. Good hustle play to keep it in bounds, but Tyler Dunn there, as he is surrounded, and manages to get out of dodge and will retain possession. And I think that'll be kind of the bread and butter here, Andy, is look for those high alley dodges here for Team USA.
Yeah, and it looked like the Canadian defense, somebody may have missed their assignment because there was no one there to slide low for Canada. And U.S. Doing a good job of getting different looks on the field with their offensive sets here early on, just 5 minutes in.
Looked like a ward there from Henningsen. In comes USA, ball turned over as Bullen has it. Looks for the long clear here, and it's brought in. As Trey LeClaire will settle things down.
LeClaire, one of 4 BC players here on this roster for Canada. Familiar here to many watching in attendance here at Perry Percy Stadium.
Tom Semple, the Coquitlam native from behind the goal. As you got Peterson out there, who, reading a couple of articles earlier today, Brody Merrill calling Peterson maybe the most complete player he's ever had at the Hill Academy, who have a number of players here representing Team Canada. A well-timed poke check there. And USA will take the ball back.
Great work there by the Poles for the U.S. That's the second time they've had a double or triple team in the back end, and Poles doing a very good job of getting the ball out of danger.
So still no clock up on the scoreboard here, but it is 1-0 Team USA. No clock? Okay.
Yes, a request from the scorers table. They want to keep the time at the official scorers table during this tournament, so we shall comply.
Not much we can do about it. Change in the works here for Team USA. Ryan Conrad, who wears 15. Flosner. Sowers now. And here comes the alley dodge across the top. Footing may be an issue here tonight with the wet turf. Inside roll, feet across the crease, and that gets by everybody. And just has enough steam on it to get across the sideline. It'll be Canada possession. As Ryland Reese, the Port Coquitlam native, asking for the ball on the near sideline here. Nice handle there to control that one. In comes Wagner, and nice stop there from Clan as he took it off the shoulder. As Wagner's such a powerful runner and has a set of hands to go with him. There's Peterson. Donville. Work to X. And Canada in need of some possession here to give their D a bit of a break. Long, grueling tournament here. As now Semple. Goal line extended for Donville. They'll come around a screen as they work the two-man game. Good ball movement here from Canada. Keeping that ball hot. Wagner will lower it. Nowhere to go with it. Here's Semple. Tough angle. And that one sails out of bounds. Canada with backup.
A very important set of possession here for Canada. They weathered an early storm here, perhaps luckily only to be down 1-0 at this stage of the game. It looks like they're finding their rhythm now.
Tom Semple. Drop there from Donville, and now a loose ball up for grabs. USA comes up with possession. And Canada will steal it right back. Dodging from the top here is Wagner. Looked like he had good shooting position, didn't take the opportunity. Now shot on the way, and that one is stopped from Clan. Quick transition here for USA. They have numbers. Long pull. Slithering inside, and 2-0 USA.
Yeah, that was a sweet goal there. The Canadian defender, maybe a little bit of an early lunge. Might have been a little bit of a slip on this slippery turf, but excellent work there from for the United States. Moving the ball up was Patrick Foley, and he drew the slide, made a nice little dump, and the United States, full credit for that. Good defensive set there for them, and they were able to transition quickly. I believe it was Sowers on the goal.
And I think Taylor Ray, is called timeout here with an early 2-0 deficit for Team Canada. As that was Foley on the attack. And Sowers on the finish.
Sowers doing such a nice job, too, of getting low, using his body positioning, get balance, and get a good shot off. You know, this U.S. team, I mean, both teams obviously a really challenging day. You sit around all day in anticipation of the big opener, probably the biggest game of the round robin for both these teams on paper. And, you know, it's interesting to see how both teams are settling in here.
And Nacho a clean face-off win on this one. And Andy Watson, explain the face-off rules for me, if you will. As you watch Ignaccio run there with the ball in the back of his pocket, international rules allow you one flip of the stick to get the ball back in your pocket, so you're not mandated to flip that stick quickly. Different sets of rules, but here in International FIL Lacrosse, break it down for me, please.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you're dead on that, Jake. So you're allowed to clamp, gain control of the ball, and then you're allowed one flip over top if the ball's lodged in the back of your stick. The challenge is, and a lot of the guys that were playing with the legal sticks in the past, that ball would get lodged in, and they would take a couple flips. They don't allow that. So you know, off the ball. On the draw, if you gain control, you have that one flip, and then you're able to continue to play on. If you can't get it out on that first flip, you lose possession on procedure.
So a timeout down on the field, and a chance to check the Twitter feed here quickly, Andy, and lots of people listening in. We got the owner of the Toronto Rock, Jamie Dalwick, with a couple of members of Team Canada, the Iceman, Wes Berg, and Jared Noble, both world champions, tuned in here tonight. Art Wixon down in Kentucky, and I do not have the officials. We'll try and get you that here shortly, Kathy, but thanks for the tweet coming in. I'm just getting some good information here that Clan originally an Ohio State commit, but now is transferred to Syracuse. I'm not even going to try, Chris, but thank you for the tweet.
The Twitterverse, you're a celebrity, my friend.
No, you know what? We don't want to pay too much attention to it, but with an international tournament like this, and you know you got fans listening in all over the world, I think it's a perfect opportunity to interact with fans. You got lots of downtime in lacrosse, unlike kind of indoor lacrosse where it's go, but a chance to kind of interact, and you never know. You might get some valuable nuggets like I just did with Clan, finding out that he is now transferred to Cuse. Back underway here with Team Canada. And Trey Leclerc will be the quarterback as it goes back to Semple now. And this kid is going to be a stud, another Denver commit. But a turnover here on the Canucks, and now a push on the back. And advantage played here to Team USA. Subak marked up. Big lanky long pull.
And Jake, that rain is just intensified here at Perry Percy Stadium, and it looks like the wind's just about to start picking up too from the north end.
Yeah, I mean, it's for anyone that's not familiar with Coquitlam, we'll kind of educate you on the host city here a little bit as we go along as well. But normally early, mid-July, pretty pleasant here in the lower mainland of British Columbia. Not so much for the opening days of this tournament. Expecting some better weather Saturday, Sunday, however. We'll keep our fingers crossed for that. But, I mean, the adrenaline for these guys must be just off the charts, and I don't think the rain or the wind is going to bother these guys at all, except for maybe their footing. And you better have yourself a good backup stick as well, because once those pockets get wet and stretch out a little bit, that's going to change. But I'm sure all these guys are fully prepared for the next 7 to 10 days to come here from Coquitlam. Mac O'Keefe. A dodge high from X now, looking to feed, and they got the defender hung up. And this is not what you want, Andy Watson, just a free feed from behind the goal here.
Yeah, Canada being disciplined, though, on their defensive set right now. It looks like they've got their assignments as U.S. is trying to run something off a stack.
Subak playing possum here. Doesn't want to pressure quite yet. And now Sowers will come goal line extended.
You know, for all the controversy in Denver in 2014 on the stall on the long possessions, both teams disciplined here, taking long possessions early on as they try and sort each other out.
Sowers got the switch on the short stick now. Feed down to the crease, and in it goes. 3-0 Team USA. As I believe that was Mathias with his second.
Yeah, and I mean, it all starts behind the net with Sowers of Dresher, Pennsylvania. He's a Princeton commit, and Mathias there from behind the net from Connecticut. Excellent little finish. You know, this is exactly the start that the United States wanted. You come into Coquitlam, you're playing against the home crowd and the home team, and making it 3-0 here for the United States. Again, we don't have an official clock right now, but we think that there's probably just between 2 and 3 minutes left here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, clock on your screen is not official, but relatively close, and we will get the scores updated for you as we move along.
Legal procedure call there off the draw, and Canada getting possession. That was Inaccio winning that possession on the procedure call against the United States.
And Canada in desperate need of a good possession here, as you don't want to slip too far behind this USA unit.
But as you've said before, Jake, Canada has in the international game in recent years different teams accustomed to being comeback kids, and they have a lot of heart and a lot of belief here. So
Follows who had it poked free. That's just another turnover there on Canada, and it's a forced turnover, but one that they probably shouldn't have, as Bullen fights that one off. But just too quick of possessions here for Canada, even if they just make that USA defense work for a little bit before they try and find the positive matchup.
Yeah, and that's surely something the coaching staff will be addressing at the quarter break.
Dox Aiken. High alley dodge. And that's a lazy turnover there on Team USA. Can Canada make him pay here into the final minute of quarter one? Got to clear the ball here first. And in some trouble, as Canada will take it across now. Are they offside? No, they are good. There's Trey Leclerc.
Excellent communication on that clear for Canada not to get caught offside. Really good communication from both the midi and the long pole to let them know that they had space.
Leclerc from the wing. Semple clears through for Leclerc. And this is more like it here for Canada, showing good patience now. Good opportunity, and in it goes. Tough angle. I believe Tanner Cook was the man to slot it home. Or was it number 19, excuse me, Marshall King?
Yeah, tough to tell here from our broadcast position, but thankfully our friends here at Sport Canada TV with the nice little
We'll check the replay.
Yeah, it looked like Cook there on the lefty coming in.
It is, in fact, Tanner Cook, who listed in order on my program. Took me a second to find him.
A Whitby Warriors product, and making everyone in the Oshawa area and Whitby area very proud.
Shout out to the Whitby Warriors. Got to get a quick one in to my man Hank Hawkins and Margot McCulley from the Lacrosse Sports Network. Had a chance to jump on with them yesterday leading up to the tournament. Got to be my favorite celebrity cup going right now. And USA now up by 2.
Such a critical goal for Canada to get a little bit of momentum here as we're in the late stages of the opening 20-minute quarter. Of course, FIL 4 20-minute quarters are played, and there would be overtime if the game was tied.
And we will kind of run down the playoff scenarios and formats as we move along, but all you need to know for the next few days at least is all these teams will play each other at least, well, they will play each other once in the round robin, and then we'll get into the crossovers and the byes and the semis as we move along. And I believe that will do it for quarter number 1.
I think maybe that was a timeout by the United States. I'm just looking for confirmation here.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have gone to go a little bit more with purpose than they did, so I believe you were right, Andy Watson. They will call timeout. And USA will try and draw something up here for the final possession of quarter number 1.
Last 2 minutes of this quarter has gone by pretty slowly.
Well, like you said, we don't have the official time on our screen, so it's tough to tell exactly what the official scorekeepers have down on field level, but we'll kind of keep it as close as we can for you.
Jake, I'll take a moment now while we have a captive audience to thank our presenting sponsor,
Absolutely.
Novus.
Yes.
Novus Entertainment, Lower Mainland-based company. I can tell you there were some line challenges that they had, just having to pull some fiber and make sure everything was good to go for both fields for this tournament. And our partners at Sports Canada TV, Troy L. Brown and his dedicated team, I just want to say a special shout out and thank you to both Novus and Sports Canada TV, able to give this high quality stream to you around the world. And this is the only way we grow the game.
Absolutely. I don't know what the numbers are tonight, Andy, but I expect we got a lot of eyeballs on this one here tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the National Lacrosse League and what it did for lacrosse internationally in terms of providing a product on TV. Technology and the advent of the streaming world, we're at a stage now where we can share these amazing games everywhere.
It's fantastic. I hear that internet's pretty popular stuff, Andy. We'll see if it catches on. USA in possession. As out of the timeout here, let's see what they run. We'll put 2 in the stack here. And looks like they want to drive from the wing. Defender taking top side away. And now falling down, no flag. Long shot in top corner. What a snipe there. As the captain, Timmy Kelly, makes it 4-1. And he's one to watch here for Team USA, number 9 in blue.
Yeah, just caught goaltender moving from side to side, and excellent discipline there by the United States to take control, and an excellent shot while moving. Had a nice pick there off the top there from Alex Rosner, and excellent shot on the fly, and that's a big goal for the U.S. to go up 4-1 at the end of the first quarter.
There is quarter number 1, 20 in the books, and 60 more to go here from Percy Perry Stadium. We'll take a quick break. Keep those tweets coming in at PXP for Sports, and we'll see you in about 2 minutes. pleasant surprise guest up here in the broadcast booth, Dave Huntley, joining us, taking it in from the fans' perspective here. Dave, what'd you see in that opening 20 minutes?
Saw a little bit of nervousness from our side a little bit, and drop a few balls, but I love the way our team played defense. I thought our defensive stuff was great. I thought our goaltender was good. I think clean up things on the offensive end, maybe close this out, but it's a real good team that we're playing there.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like they forced themselves into some bad situations, ran into a couple of doubles, and just, probably some nerves off the charts for these guys coming into a world-class tournament like this, something they've probably never experienced, and that's probably to be expected.
Yeah, it's kind of first-time stuff, and it's the kind of errors we made aren't characteristic of our guys. So I think we'll clean it up in this second quarter a little bit and hopefully close the gap.
Well, you've been around Team Canada Lacrosse for a lot of years, Dave. Coming out of the selection camp once the final roster was picked, what do you think of this squad, and what do you think of your chances here going up against Iroquois and Team USA?
Well, both two great teams, and I love the compete level, the skill level of our kids. I think defensively this is one of the best groups we've ever put out there from the goal right out, and we've got a great face-off kid. Unfortunately, one of our other guys went down, Matthew Kim, but I think Coquille will do a real good, Nacho will do a real good job there, 2 eyes and stuff. So I think we'll be just fine. So a great group of kids, and what a great coaching staff we have with T-Ray leading them, and Brownie and Snides, and just a real good group.
Oh, Seth Snides on the scooter coming in for the opening ceremonies. What's going on with Jeff?
Ski accident.
Oh, my.
He was allegedly skiing with some World Cup skiers. I didn't realize he was I thought he was just a world-class fighter, a face-off guy, but apparently he's a world-class skier.
Doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. It's quarter 2 underway. Let's play some lacrosse, and USA comes up with possession. If, Dave, you want to hang out for a bit, you're more than welcome to do so.
I'll do my best to add some color.
As Bernhardt out there for a shift, a little show pony kick for him. As USA showing good patience here through the first quarter. And they get another one on the board as they go low. Past Bullen, and 5-1 USA now. As I believe that was Conrad on the take, and you really can't fault Bullen for that. That's just a great shot on the run there from Conrad.
Yeah, we've got to keep the guys out of the middle of the field. It looked like we were playing a bit of a zone, and they got into a seam and made a good shot. Yeah, got right in the seam, and good shot. Got to clean that up.
Listening to both coaches before this game here tonight, Dave, it wasn't so much about the result here from tonight, because at the end of the day, you can't win a gold medal on the first game of the tournament. You want to be playing your best lacrosse at the end of the tournament, not so much before. But with that being said, you don't want to get blown out here in your first game either. And 5-1, you're starting to get into some dicey territory.
Yeah, it's a long game. I just think, we're winning some face-offs, and it's, 4 goals, and it doesn't take much to get that going. We just got to clean some things up on this end of the field. I think we'll be fine.
Well, we talked about that game back in January down in Florida, and what a game that was. Have you ever kind of seen something like that with the face-off with 5 seconds to go, the Gilman to tie it and send it to OT?
I had never seen that in my life, and I spent a lot of time in this game, but I've never seen a goal scored like that. Just kid picked it up out of the back of his stick, flung it, and made it.
Yeah, the scenario comes up, but it never seems to actually come to fruition when you try something like that. And I think everybody was pretty shocked when the ball went in the goal, and does that count? Does that count? There was triple zeros on the clock.
Yeah. Here we go now.
Follows. Left wing dodge. Swinging in behind the goal. Lanchbury, and he was the man who did tie the game off that Gilman. Here's Wagner across the top. He'll fire on the run, wide of the target. What can you tell me about Wagner? A real powerful runner.
You hit the nail on the head. He is a big downhill dodger, exceptional stick, good vision. I think he's going to cash a couple checks playing lacrosse in a few years.
There'll be a couple more than I ever did.
Me too. I only cashed them, Coach.
Yeah. Well, hey, we don't do this for the money, do we? Inside feed, trying to slither in there. Ball picked up. Good help D from USA, and they'll come back up with possession. As Tyler Dunn with the loose ball. Ground ball, I should probably say here for field lacrosse. And It's another thing I should probably warn people, being a Canadian, being a West Coast Canadian, you're going to hear some different terminology out of my mouth than you would from an Ontario guy or even an American guy. And it'll take me a little while to wrap my head around saying things like ground ball instead of loose ball.
I still call them loose balls, and I've been living in Baltimore for all of my adult life.
All right.
So.
Well, I don't feel so bad anymore.
No. Still like the bare naked ladies, too. The band.
Yeah, you should clarify that. Yeah. As USA pots another. And make it 6-1 Team USA now. As Dave, I appreciate you joining me for a little bit here.
Thanks
Enjoy
for having
the rest
me.
of the tournament.
Yeah, we will.
And special hellos to anybody before you want to let it go?
Just hello to everybody that's watching. Thanks for watching and supporting this great game. And hopefully you guys will keep coming back and seeing some good lacrosse all week. I think it'll be great.
Right.
Thank you.
Dave Huntley, everybody. Appreciate it, Dave. Enjoy the rest of the game as we'll get Andy Watson back on the headset here. And Andy, appreciate you securing Dave Huntley for me. Did you find out the officials for us?
Yes, the officials for tonight's game. Obviously, the biggest team here representing a number of different countries, but we've got a pretty good experienced crew. Peter Davidson is the head referee, wearing the number 36 jersey. David Campbell wearing number 10. Johannes Koschke wearing number 83.
Well done.
And Barb Zeleny, the CBO. Babs, as she's known in the referee community.
Is she the lone female referee here?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. That was great to see. Rain still pouring down here on Percy Perry Stadium. And the USA pouring it on against Team Canada, up 6-1. Lots of time to go here, second quarter. Ethan Walker. Bit of a swim move, goal line extended on the flip back. Now Marshall King, face touch. Blanchbury. There's Walker. Stunner step into the middle. And good patience here from Team Canada, as they really need to close the gap here on Team USA. Open lane, and that's probably a shot you got to take right there if you're Jeff Teat, who's just been filling it up in Junior A lacrosse for the Brampton Excelsiors and can't get that one to go. Good backup behind the goal. Now Walker will reset here for Leclerc. Marshall King on the spin back out of Drexel. Walker trying to get in, gets a shot off, stays out of the crease. Canada still with it. A feed high was knocked down, but Leclerc's got possession. And this is where Canada, after that offensive drive there, needs to reset themselves and keep continuing to run their offense.
Yeah, a couple different looks here from the Canadian offense, and they look to be getting their rhythm a little bit here offensively.
Off the wing is Walker with a swim. Play out to Teat, faked it. Oh, had a man across the seam. Showing good patience, though, for Teat. He'll skip low. Trey Leclerc. Big right-hander Marshall King. Younger brother of the natural Jesse King, who was a member of Team Canada 4 years ago in Turku, Finland, and also for the senior men's team in Denver 2 years ago.
Of course, Jesse lighting it up now in the Major Lacrosse League in the U.S.
Well, he lit it up at the Langley Event Center just a night ago. We put up a 9 spot in the point total, making the game look easy, and what a future ahead of young Jesse King, who I believe will make his way over to the mainland for a couple of games next week. Told him to stop by the booth. Hopefully he takes me up on my offer. 6-1 USA, just under 12 minutes in this second quarter. Rosner. This is Conrad.
U.S. really spreading the field right now with their set offense.
Yeah, Canada's got to be wary of not chasing out too far. Mac O'Keefe up on Donville now. Loads and shoots and scores. A high rising underhand crank there. Or the sub shot, if you will, for my man Dylan Ward, who was out there listening tonight. Team Canada's starting goaltender. And I know the term sub shot absolutely drives him nuts, so we'll continue to use that throughout the week.
Well, Jonathan Donville did a really good job defensively to try and get in the way of that shot, but excellent poise and balance again from the United States. They're shooting really well from outside, and they're having lots of success from there.
Of course, for fans that don't know, the sub shot, short for the submarine shot, the underhand, if you will. And USA right back on the attack in this time. Bullet sharp on that. And I was wondering if we might see a goaltending change for Team Canada. There's now a loose ball up for grabs. And look at the handle there, but knocked free. And what do we got? I think Canada might have got a timeout in. Is now Wagner face-to-face with 22 in blue. That's Rowlett. Or Rowlett, excuse me. And we will get a timeout down on the field here. And I believe it'll be Canadian ball when we return. And facing a 6-goal deficit now. It's 7-1 Team USA. And USA just really been capitalizing on their opportunities, Andy, and Canada not so much.
Yeah, and I think this score probably is catching everyone here by surprise. I think everyone probably expecting a tighter game early on. United States, though, shooting well in motion, getting lots of movement off ball, some good screens. The Canadian team, some early jitters, some early drop balls, and they just haven't had the luck. One thing I've been very impressed with by the United States is their lateral movement on defense. Their long poles are extremely athletic, and they haven't been giving the Canadians space. And they're taking away that inside look. Canadians trying to roll and dodge into the middle, and they haven't had that opportunity. I think Canada's got to start moving the ball a little bit more, and I think Taylor Ray right now addressing the troops with this timeout, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with their next offensive set with this next possession.
I'll look for something set here coming from Taylor Ray, Matt Brown and company.
Of course, for those of you looking to see what's coming up tomorrow, tournament continues right through till July the 16th, and tomorrow is our first full day with 2 fields going on. So hope that you can tune in again to worldlax.tv, and we're happy to be providing the stream for you.
Yeah, and if you didn't get the full tournament package, you probably made a mistake. I mean, for $45 for the amount of games you're going to see in a 10-day span, I mean, you're talking dollars a day here, people, so make sure you sign up for that. Here's Wagner on the tip. Into traffic. Riley Curtis, feet across, and pass was high. Now a loose ball up for grabs here, and we got a push on the back on Team USA, I believe. And ball will stay with Team Canada. In desperate need of a goal here.
Thomas Semple taking the damage there on the shove from behind. He'll take one from the team, though, to help turn the tide here.
Canada will get in a change on the fly here as Semple will bring it high. Tanner Cook back out there. He's got the lone Canadian goal. As they go with 2 behind the net. And Lanchbury and Benny French. Here is French looking to feed. Tanner Cook spins. Shakes off a man, looked like a Ward. Now a quick shot and a good stop there from Clan. As Jeff Teat looked low, and Clan was equal on that one. There's another USA possession. And they clear easily. Sowers. Rosner. Now Conrad. Starting to learn some names and numbers already here.
You said it would only take you at half there, Jake.
Aiken. Well, I'm one of those guys that I can't just stare at a roster and memorize names and numbers. I actually have to physically see the player, and I usually, will pick out a running style or maybe a hairdo or some shoes or something to kind of familiarize myself with the name and number. It tends to take me a quarter or two, and then once I get her locked in, I'm good to go.
There's not enough mullets out here. I'm having a hard time getting to know names.
From the top. Good help D on the slide. Far wing now. And helicopter job there on the prime, but this is the area that Canada's got to be careful in. They just cannot afford to turn the ball over like that after making a great play. And Leclerc in some trouble. A fight for it here. USA for the moment. Canada staying after it. Just surrounded by blue jerseys. As ball hooked to open field, but it'll roll out of bounds. And after you work so hard on defense like that, Andy, you want to make something happen so bad and so quickly if you're Team Canada, but that's almost the opposite thing that you need to do. You need to pull that ball out and get it settled. Under 5 to go, second quarter. 7-1 USA here in the opening game of the 2016 U19 World Field Lacrosse Championships. Jake Elliott, Andy Watson with you.
Congratulations, you have won tonight's 50-50 jackpot. You can pick up
early 50-50 announcement here, Andy.
Yeah, I think
is that one going to count? It is, as the official signals goal. Is that kind of materialized out of nothing right there?
Well, that was Sowers again from behind the cage. And another sub shot, as you like to call it there, Jake. Much to the chagrin of others.
Well, like I said, it's a Western thing. It's a Western thing. But let's check the replay here. If we can squeeze it in before the face-off. Doesn't look like we'll get it.
Did look good from my vantage point. I was happened to be watching the monitor at the same time, but hopefully at the next dead ball we'll get a chance to see that replay.
Venaccio with a clean face-off win against Feliciani. Apparently you need some Italian background to take a draw in this contest. Can Canada get their second here? Trey Leclerc. So we'll get the 5-minute call here, so maybe reset the clock on your monitor if we can. Leclerc from the top. On the run. He can crank on the run and shoots this one, and he scores. One of the best at shooting on the run. That's Trey Leclerc, and he makes it 8-2.
Such a crucial goal, too, to end this U.S. run and gain some momentum again. Excellent. It almost looked like he had no angle there, and driving low. Just a really excellent job there. Nice little dodge, one-on-one. Hesitated on the first shot, and then U.S. goalie not moving at all, and he was late to react to the shot once Leclerc let it go.
It's a big goal for Canada to get some positive feelings here late in this first half. And can Venaccio follow it up with a draw when he can? He's off to the races. Look out from behind on the trail check. And that's perfect there from Venaccio.
It's a little Jeff Snyder-esque there. Of course, Jeff Snyder, part of this Team Canada coaching staff.
Well, not a bad guy to learn face-offs from.
Snyder-esque, I think that's a new
yeah,
word
we could
now.
probably add that to the dictionary. And one of the best to ever do it in the game of lacrosse than Jeff Snyder. Not bad with the gloves off either, Andy Watson. But
no.
Not in field lacrosse, however.
Gentleman's game.
Long shot coming. That rang the pipe and goes skyward. Look out in row 14. Souvenir for somebody just after our broadcast, right? And another timeout down on the field. We will take a quick break as well. 8-2 USA leading Canada with just over 3 minutes to go, second quarter. You're watching U19 World Field Lacrosse Championships presented by Novus on Sports Canada TV. All right, lacrosse fans, welcome back. As teams break the huddle out of the timeout, we'll give you a little replay coming out of the timeout here. As that's Sowers. As it looked like Subak got hung up on the back of the net there, and tough angled shot beat Bullen.
What a bounce off that turf, too. I mean, excellent velocity on that shot. Excellent dodge to be able to switch direction so quickly. We've seen a lot of that today, and it's the athleticism of both these teams is really a privilege to watch.
As we'll get you the upcoming schedule. Who do we got tomorrow? Iroquois, England, Andy?
Yeah, tomorrow night, Iroquois, England. Of course, that game 7:30 Pacific time. Prior to that, we see a couple of red division games and a green division game, along with the debut of Mexico and China to kick things off tomorrow morning.
A rivalry like no other. Mexico, China.
And you know, it's great to see the growth of the game. I understand.
Oh, it's fantastic.
55th team just came to the FIL recently. That's beautiful. Haiti is now a member of the FIL, just announced last week. So we're really happy to see that.
Are they looking for a coach or anything, maybe down in Haiti?
Yeah, maybe. I think the application list might be pretty long, though. That's a pretty sweet gig.
All right, USA and Sowers in control here, up by 6 and with the ball. Tyler Dunn waits for some help. It looks like USA pretty committed to playing with two behind, or behind goal line extended, I should say. As now they move into a 2-3-1.
Looks like he's setting up for a bit of ISO here.
Kelly wants to go at Donville, who waits for him. In the left hand, goes to the right, one-handed power cradle. Feet in behind. There's the swing to Sowers, who seems to be really the quarterback of this USA offense. This is Dunn. He's got Ayakoka on him. It's just kind of been the story of this opening half. Long offensive possessions for USA. It's almost exactly what Canada did to the senior men's team in Denver. Just drubbed them. I mean, just controlled the game from start to finish.
1 minute remaining in the second quarter.
1 minute to go in this opening half. Kelly. Return feed. Now Mathias from behind. Mac O'Keefe will take it wide left wing. And would this be an opportunity right now to call the stall, Andy Watson? And there it is on from the official.
Yeah, almost on cue there, Jake.
So now you got to keep it inside that restraining line. You can go behind the goal as many times as you like, but you can't come out that restraining line. Here's Kelly, loads. Back to Mathias. High feed, and that'll be a turnover as it'll roll towards the Canadian bench and out of play. And that will do it for half number one. Team USA gets 8. Team Canada gets 2. It's a 6-goal lead for the Stars and Stripes. Well, we're underway here from the U19 2016 World Field Lacrosse Games from Coquitlam, British Columbia. We will take a break for halftime. We will come back with second half action. 10 minutes we got for halftime, all right? And we'll come back. We'll break down that first half, and we'll get you set for half number 2. In the meantime, don't forget, fans, you can reach me via Twitter at PXP, the number 4 sports, as the Canucks will head for the locker room, as will Team USA. PXP for sports. We'll see you in 10. All right, lacrosse fans, welcome back inside Percy Perry Stadium, or outside Percy Perry Stadium, if you will. Jay Kelly and Andy Watson with you as we get set for second half action. Andy, 8-2 USA in that opening half, and I think Canada far from playing their best lacrosse.
Yeah, and early game of the tournament, one of your hardest games. You get so jacked up and amped up for this, and then, the U.S. with that quick 3-0 lead. This will really test Canada's might and mettle, and it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from this. I was extremely impressed with the United States discipline and extremely impressed with the play of Michael Sowers. He's really stood out for me as a guy to watch.
Yeah, Mathias opened the scoring. Sowers would follow it up. Mathias with its second to make it 3-0. Tanner Cook would get Canada on the board to make it 3-1. Timmy Kelly would finish off quarter one with a 4-1 lead for USA. And then 4 more straight goals, 2 from Conrad, 1 from O'Keefe, and Sowers with his second before Trey Leclerc broke up the run to finish off quarter 2. Blow the whistle. Let's play some lacrosse. We're underway here in quarter 3. And Inacio trying to keep this play alive. A nice little stick here to Simple. And a good save there from Clan right off the draw. What a stop off of Simple there from Clan.
And it looks like we have a goalie change for Canada right now.
I believe Hebert has come in relief of Bullen, and we'll see if that trend continues here for Canada, whether that was a planned change or whether they decided to make the change after the half. But it is Hebert in there now for Team Canada, who wears number 23 out of Burlington and off to Stony Brook University.
Can't really fault Bullen. He had a pretty tough half, lots of shots facing him, but he made some nice saves for Canada in the cage.
There's Mathias. And he'll work high. Out to Tyler Dunn. Donville right on him. Here comes the double. As USA stays with 2 behind the goal. Drive from the top now for Kelly. Fake the shot, still driving. And just managing to grab that one was Sowers. And gets back to his feet. Drives in front now, goes down, ball loose. Donville's got it. Good defense there from Team Canada.
Yeah, nice collapse there to pin Sowers in, didn't let him get a shot away. And a nice loose ball as well to get possession.
Well, let's see the clear here for Hebert now. As here comes the slide. He's got Kolwich to the nearest sideline. Who's got it now? He'll look full field across. Tough Port Moody bounce pass there. And if you're unfamiliar with that, Andy Watson, that's the short hopper into the shins. But handled well by Trey Leclerc, who's probably seen 1 or 2 of those in his day. Of course, Port Moody just a suburb to our west of Coquitlam. 5-minute drive or so to get into Port Moody territory. We don't want to go into the full details of the Port Moody bounce pass, Andy Watson, but it's a lesser of a minor organization and kind of came to fruition early in my broadcasting career. And it's kind of stuck. One of my trademarks.
Of course, you can find all the Jake isms at PXP for sports.
There you go.
Yes, on Twitter. Butchered that handle, folks.
I don't quite have Eamon McEnany's, bullseye, or that's why they call it execution. I'm going to work on my field lacrosse vernacular, get some staples into my game here.
Good possession here for Canada. Nice discipline.
Tommy Semple, Trey Leclerc, a couple of BC boys out there now. Marshall King as well. As you think back to 08 and some of the BC-born players on that roster, and Robbie Campbell and Kevin Crowley. There's a chance for Leclerc, and that one low drive. And now a race for it, and they will give it to Semple on the effort as he dives for the sideline. And Tom Semple with quite the cheering section here at Percy Perry.
Nice save by Clan, though. He got nice and low there to take the shot away, and he's been a difference maker here for the U.S. as well. Canada getting some good looks, and he's made a couple big stops in the cage.
Well, I was about to say the same thing. He really has been a difference maker. And he's trying to weave in there was Tanner Cook. And he lost the handle, and here come the Stars and Stripes on the attack. Mathias. Late change from Canada. Maybe still an odd man situation, and there's Hebert with his first stop. As Mathias was falling to the ground, didn't get a great shot off, but still tested the Canadian goaltender.
I don't know how well folks at home can see this as Canada just recovers on a funny bounce there, but it is just coming down here in Coquitlam.
Yeah, I think when we get the close camera shot, you can kind of get a better idea of how hard it really is raining here. And it's been steady since the opening drop. Riley Curtis. Slow change here for the Canucks. Curtis goes wide on Sims. Sidearm shot, and there's Clan again getting a piece of that one. Lanchbury will start things back in. And next goal in this game, lots of time to go, Andy, but if Canada can get back within 5, as there it is. Riley Curtis on the finish. And Canada with the first goal of the second half makes it 8-3.
Jake Elliott, the goal whisperer there. But again, some disciplined Canada, able to get a couple long offensive sets here. And there's Jeff Teat with a beautiful dish inside.
That's all just standard Canadian box lacrosse right there on the two-man game with Curtis and Teat.
And of course, those guys quite familiar with each other, both Brampton boys. So a little Brampton magic.
Curtis off to Denver. And Teat with already a year with Big Red at Cornell. Clean win for USA off the face-off. No transition, so they'll slow things up. Jerry Lindsay finds Mathias. Excellent dye jobs on some of these kids' heads on their sticks. Didn't have that back in our day, Eddie.
No, you had the restriction on the dye job back in the day.
Chance for players to show their personality a little bit. There's a stop from Hebert. Still dangerous times here for Canada, though, as USA retains possession off the rebound. Mathias on the roll. Got a step on his man. Shot goes wide as Conrad scoops the ground ball. Lighting has taken full effect here on Stadium Field. And what a crowd here tonight, Andy. I mean, braving the elements, obviously, but, I mean, just a fantastic turnout for the opening game.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, the city of Coquitlam has been so good at helping us out and getting prepared for this, and we're lucky that we have cover here. Most of the fans covered, and those that aren't have the umbrellas out with them. Standard BC attire for any day. Yeah, you never know.
You'll kind of see a black kind of line go up your screen from time to time, and that's nothing to do with the screen. That's just heavy wiring holding up this covered tent over the stands. Shot off the post. Loose ball. And it's gained by USA. Mac O'Keefe takes in the low feet. And this has been an extended long possession here for USA. They've had a number of shots, but the loose balls and rebounds have all gone to the team in blue. Bernhardt got a step, got a shot, and that one goes wide. And USA with backup with Mathias. Henrik will mark up on Mathias, who lowers in the shoulder. Inside roll. Goal line extended. And it'll work back to X. Hard feet. It's O'Keefe trying to drive inside. Still got it. Flag comes down, and this will go against Canada. As I believe it was Peterson on the infraction.
Yeah. He'll sit for 30-second hold. For those not familiar with field lacrosse, technical fouls take 30 seconds, and they are releasable. So if a team scores, that player is released back onto the field. And then you have personals of 1, 2, or 3-minute varieties, and they are not releasable, similar to what a major penalty would be in box lacrosse.
I would like to see those 3-minute jumps. Long shot coming from O'Keefe, and Hebert stares that one down.
He's looked really calm and confident since coming into the game.
He sure has. As now it'll be Wagner that runs the clear. Shakes off one man. Triple team now. Ball comes free, and Wagner no trouble beating one USA player, but when you try and beat three, you're asking for it. Of course, brother of Vancouver Stealth player Ryan Wagner.
Canada weathered that short man. I think that's the first penalty we've seen in the game.
Yeah, it's been a very clean lacrosse game so far. And a bit of a feeling out process here for both teams, obviously, in this opening game. And myself will have the majority of the Blue Division games for you throughout the week, leading up to next weekend's championship. High feed, good handle. And here's a shot and a goal. Timmy Kelly answers back for USA to restore the 6-goal lead. It's 9-3.
Such a nice job of freezing the defender and getting him to commit, and being able to pull that stick down so quickly, duck down and slide in for the shot. Again, after a bout of long possession for the U.S., they were able to draw that technical. They didn't score on the power play, but they maintained possession, and they were able to get a well-earned goal and another long possession to wear down this Canadian defense. 9-3 lead now, midway through the third quarter. U.S. full value right now for the lead.
It's another one of those Western Canadian power play. International like to go with the man up, man down, Andy Watson. And Anaccio out with a draw. He's got numbers here. Donville finds the open man. And won't force it, will Jeff Teat. Simple will run strong side. Lanchbury. Ethan Walker. This is Jeff Teat. Here's Marshall King. Well, Claire will orchestrate from the point. There's that two-man game again here with Teat. Now LeClaire. King. On the drive now. And the USA is so disciplined in their defense. They just do not double the ball unless it's absolutely necessary. Subber, and it goes. Ethan Walker finds the top of the goal, and it's 9-4.
Ethan Walker, the pride of Peterborough. Trey LeClaire with some nice work to drive down and get the dodge. And he pulls up, dishes the ball up high. Walker has some space, one step, and a beauty sub shot. Really not a lot that Clan could do on that one. Another big goal for Canada, 9-4 now, the U.S. lead, about 7.5 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Not even sure my man Scotty Rogers would have stopped that one, as it had some smoke on it from Walker. MLL All-Star game coming up. The big rig will be in between the pipes. Sowers.
Again, the U.S. just slowing this rate down, trying to get to a methodical pace. I think you touched on it earlier, Jake, but very similar to what we saw from the senior men's national Canadian team in Denver in the championship in 2014.
And that is Nick Meyer's modus operandi. He loves that controlled offense. Look at the move from Sowers as he opens himself up. Just cuts on a dime. There's Timmy Kelly on the strong drive, and that one floats wide.
Another rule for those not familiar with field lacrosse, the player closest to the line where the ball goes out gains possession. And then they gain possession where that ball went out.
And if nobody behind the goal when that ball goes out, it goes to the goaltender. There's a nice strip there. And Hebert pounces on that loose ball, and he wants to start the break. Here's Peterson. Dunn will run him down from behind with good speed, and Canada will set. Just under 6 to go here in quarter 3. It's a 5-goal Team USA lead. This is the opening game of the U19 World Field Lacrosse Championships. I am Jay Kelly along with Andy Watson. As what a way to kick off the tournament with the two top favorites going at it.
You know, such an important game for confidence building, just to see where you're at too, and what your preparation has done. The U.S. really didn't like the fact that they lost to Canada and the Iroquois in the round robin in Finland in 2012. So
yeah,
it was important for them to get out and have a victory tonight. And they're looking very good thus far, and Canada's going to have to find an extra gear here if they want to come back.
Well, their first 2 losses, here's Trey Leclerc on the spin.
5 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Low shot goes wide. But those 2 losses you just mentioned in 2008 in Turco, they're only 2 losses they've ever had in the 8 championship games, or, sorry, 8 national, what am I trying to say here, Andy Watson?
8 international tournaments at the U19 level.
41-2 are Team USA. And there's been some close ones with Canada and USA in that time, but USA has prevailed except for that one time.
Of course, the U.S. won the 2012 championship over Canada 10-8 in Finland.
Trey Leclerc, and that one sails high. Ooh. Simple there on the backup, and just had a step on his man.
Tie goes to the runner, I guess. Extra effort there from Semple to try and get that extra little lunge.
Plays his junior lacrosse for the purple and gold of the COQUITLAM Annex. Coming straight out of midget lacrosse in indoor, and will play a full 5 years of junior A lacrosse for COQUITLAM.
Which in BC terms with the intermediate league here, that's fairly unheard of.
It is.
You need to be a really talented player to do that, unlike in Ontario where you have that 5-year junior B or junior A system. In BC, they go usually to a 2-year intermediate and then a 3-year junior.
We don't want to get into that debate quite often or too much here, Andy, but I really think it's time for BC to come around on that as Leclerc goes low on Clan, who fights that one off. A loose ball, and this should be a push on the back as Semple tight ropes the end line to stay in play here. And that garners a round of applause from the Canadian faithful.
This is a nice long sustained possession for Canada. This is what they needed.
Shot just over top of the goal as Teat took it to the rack. And Canada pressuring here and trying to cut the lead down to 4. 3 minutes to go in this third quarter.
3 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
There's another drive. Corkscrew shot, and that's on the outside of the goal as Clan will clamp down. And USA will start back the other way.
Not a bad look, though, for Lanchbury there. He looked like he had a seam, and just unfortunate not to have a better result on the shot.
Tim Kelly. And that stick hanging out, tucks it away just in time, gets it to Mathias. And now Sowers. He's got Drake Porter on him. Doc's Aiken. And 2-2-2 formation once again here for USA. Mathias near sideline.
He was trying to spread that field a little bit again right now.
They really are. And Canada's been fairly disciplined not to chase. Bernhardt, quick feed, and there's pressure from Wagner. As rain, I think, has let up just a little bit here now, Andy Watson. You can tell Wagner, just such an athlete who's got a motor. And no sign of slowing down. As the stall on here for USA now.
A good call by the officiating crew on that. The U.S. were not attacking the cage, and this will force them to keep that ball inside the offensive third of the field.
Right, high lob for Conrad, slipped over his head. Ball picked up, and here comes Canada with Donville. And no transition, and that will do it for quarter number 3. Well, a 5-goal spread here for Team USA after 60 minutes of play. We still got 20 to come for you. We'll have it for you in a couple of minutes. You're watching the U19 26 World Field Lacrosse Championships, brought to you by Novus, right here on Sports Canada TV. What am I looking at? All right, lacrosse fans, welcome back inside Percy Perry Stadium as we get set for 4th quarter action. Jake Elliott, Andy Watson with you, 9-4 USA after 60 minutes of play. And a few more tweets coming in. Here in Canada, Andy Watson, I believe we're going with Iroquois, not Iroquois.
I had an interesting discussion.
I mean,
with
it's up for debate.
that.
There's no wrong answer for it. And if you talk to, well, I mean, I want to go off of what a guy like Alfie Jacques, who I really consider to be the creator of the air quotes. And let's play some lacrosse. We're underway here in quarter 4, but I believe he goes with Iroquois, but I've been going my whole life with Iroquois. And I just don't know if I can wrap my head around changing mid-tournament here. So I think we'll go with Iroquois. Ward is an infraction here in the FIL, just to answer your question. Just got a big follow from Notre Dame standout and Denver outlaw Matt Kavanaugh. Thanks for the follow, buddy. Return the favor for you. You can do so, same PXP, the number 4 sports, if you want to get at me. Love the tweets. Keep them coming. PXP for sports. His 4th quarter action is a go. And USA with possession. Sowers turns his man inside out. As we haven't seen Sowers too much above goal line extended. USA looks aggressive to start, and Hebert didn't get a piece of that one, but USA there for backup. And now the switch onto the shorty here for Donville. High feet. And Canada in good position once again. Conrad. Brad Smith, across the top he comes, wants to fire on the run, and he does. Just blows it past Hebert to make it 10-4.
You know, it all starts behind the cage with Sowers, with some controlled possession, spreading the defense out a little bit, and what a nice drive. Midi on midi, nice jumping, leaping shot. And Smitty with a nice goal there, put the U.S. up 10-4. You know, again, no lead is insurmountable in lacrosse, but that's, you know, again, another momentum killer, and Canada's going to have to find a way to bounce back once again.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if either team is overly concerned with the result here in this opening game, but you do want to have some positive thoughts and feelings and some momentum heading into the rest of the week here. And I think the focus here for Team Canada is let's try and win this fourth quarter and, you know, see how it comes out after that.
Yeah, and I mean, both teams with an off day tomorrow, so, you know, that's
we will be here.
helpful. We'll be here,
No off days for us, Sandy Watson.
No rest for the wicked.
And hopefully this crowd that is absolutely jam-packed in here will join us for the full 10 days.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Austin's stats of Six Nations tomorrow with the Iroquois.
Well, you're going to go with Coy.
Oh, yeah. It's the French. It's the French influence.
Yes.
It all
like
depends.
I said, people, there's no wrong answer when it comes to Iroquois or Iroquois. Just a matter of preference.
Tomato, tomato.
Well, I honestly believe if you went up and down the Iroquois national team and asked them how they pronounce it, you get it 50-50 back the other way.
Fully agreed.
Just depends on what nation you're actually from, what territory you come from, and how you pronounce it.
Maybe we should be going with the Haudenosaunee.
Yeah, careful now.
There's another debate. Either way, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah,
I think England will have their hands full tomorrow.
They are going to have some offense. Can they get it done on defense and goal will be the question as that shot sails high and wide. But, yeah, I mean, they are just stacked Nanacoke stats, to name a couple. They're going to be a fun team to watch.
And, of course, Six Nations Arrows box goalie Doug Jamieson playing out.
I did not know that. I was wondering what Dougie Jamieson, what position he played, but I'm got to assume it's long pole.
I think he's a pole, yeah. We'll find out tomorrow night. Looking forward to that.
I know last night, what did we have? We had Team Hong Kong, Team Mexico, Team England, Team Australia, all at the Langley Event Center to check out some Western Lacrosse Association action. And had to believe, you know, for teams like Hong Kong and Mexico, I know they have a version of box lacrosse in Australia, but for those teams, had to be the first time ever seen indoor lacrosse.
Yeah, pretty cool, and that's part of the cultural experience. Players here getting entrance to WLA games and also to the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Very cool.
Some checked out a junior game at Queen's Park Arena on the wooden floor, which was probably a treat.
Another long, sustained possession here for the United States. Testing this Canadian defense once again.
As we approach, I mean, at one point, Andy Watson, do you start to get out of your comfort zone a little bit if you're Team Canada and start to try and pressure this USA team? And you look back to Denver a couple of years ago, and that was really kind of the fault of Team USA is they just let Canada run clonk on them. They never adjusted their game plan to try and go get that ball back. And at some point, down 10-4 here in the fourth quarter, you got to start to go after the ball.
15 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're in that territory now, and I think you are seeing a little bit more risk taken by the Canadians. They're certainly pressuring the ball a little bit further out than they were earlier in the game. But again, like you've said before, this is a long tournament, and you know, for both teams, you just want to get a game in and see where you're at and what you need to work on. It's not a sprint, my friend. It's a marathon.
Absolutely.
I have plenty more cliches to share throughout the week.
I look forward to that. I know Steve Erickson may be joining us from time to time throughout the broadcast. You want to talk about one-liners. Man, oh, man. That guy has got more one-liners than I can even come up with a one-liner for his one-liners, if you know what I'm saying.
Fans have been forewarned.
Yeah.
That's hashtag forewarned for you on Twitter. Thanks again to everyone for tuning in, and to all of our sponsors, including our presenting sponsor Novus, and our friends at Sports Canada TV helping to prepare this stream for you. One of 46 streams we're going to have throughout the week. And
just getting word, sorry to cut you off, Andy. Doug Jamieson, Dylan Ward telling me he's a face-off man.
He's a Fogo.
I can't wait to see Dougie Jamieson Fogo. I mean, if that's true, Dylan Ward, which I have to believe it is. Why would he know?
It's got to be, yeah. Fountain of knowledge out there, Dylan Ward.
Dougie is the best face-off man around. Not a poll, says Joel Watson. So that's confirmed now. Confirmed information. We got Brent Michael tuning in saying a shot that should be closest to the ball when and where it went out of bounds is what he's trying to say. If no one is behind the net, it's not an automatically goalie ball. If the goalie is not closest to the ball, misconception.
Yes, no, important clarification. If it's a pass, of course, it also goes to the team that didn't touch it last.
Right.
Yes. So excellent clarification there from former U19 World Lacrosse referee Brent Kulom. He was in Finland in 2012.
So back underway here with under 15 to go now, just over 14 in fact, as USA begins their offensive set once again, and we'll see how aggressive Team Canada wants to get, as they can't just allow USA to keep chewing up time here.
Well, nice spread offense here from the U.S., and it looks like they're looking at a couple different ISO sets.
On the switch now, as they go back to Sowers in behind Mathias. Got a step on his man, fake the shot. Did Smith, rolls back strong side to his left and now into the right. And that's one of the major differences you'll see between USA and Canada, Andy, is a lot of these American guys can go into either hand with their stick, where the Canadians will play predominantly with their strong hand.
Well, I will say with the group, more players from Canada playing at, schools like the Hill Academy, more Canadians going to Culver. We're seeing a little bit more of the switch hand. Nice.
How is there not a flag on Hebert there? No official right there in front of it. Didn't call it, but Canada will retain possession here.
Yeah, he's asking the question, too, to the referee that was on the lead position side there. From our vantage point up here, of course, very different vantage point for the officials. That maybe could have been a technical on a hold, or no hooking in field lacrosse, unfortunately. It's a beauty call to make, though.
So almost must-score territory now for Team Canada.
I don't know what you do as a coach right now, though. Do you try and push the envelope and claw back in this game down 6 with, about 14 minutes to go, or do you try and develop your patience and your set offense for the future?
I think probably a little bit of both, as Riley Curtis. But, I mean, it's not like Canada has been kind of trying to get the switch onto a short pull or short stick and drive one-on-one. They're more or less looking for cuts off ball and alley dodges more than anything.
Yeah.
From behind the goal this time. The play out high. Here's Curtis, loads, doesn't shoot. LeClaire dials it up and draws inside, but ball knocked away. Now flanked down here on USA.
Yeah, and I know, some contact off ball. You're supposed to be letting those cutters through, and I think the referee gave a couple warnings and then followed through with a flag.
Can on the drive now clarify here, Andy, with the flag down. Do you have to continue to advance towards the goal, be a threat to try and score with the flag down?
That is correct. Yeah, now you are allowed that bounce pass. But, yeah, you can't have the ball touch down. You have to continue to advance, and you can only put it back one time behind the cage. And, of course, just as we say that,
so
the whistle to blow it dead.
On the stall, you can go behind the cage as many times as you like.
Yep.
On the flag down, only once behind the net.
That is correct, yeah.
Pertinent information there, Andy Watson. As Canada will go to the man up.
Big power play here for Canada, or man up, depending on your vernacular.
Apples and oranges. Tomato, tomato. Chance coming. Clan stopping, and Canada's really been looking low a lot on Clan, and he's had their number down there.
Yeah.
It's when you have that stick low and go to high is when Canada's really had success from the outside. And can USA save this ball? They cannot. As usually the sure-handed Sowers let one slip away. And I believe USA and Nick Myers wants timeout.
Interesting call there for the U.S. I guess they want to regroup and get back in a position, but you don't normally see that. Normally it's that offensive team making the timeout call.
Showing 14 minutes on our game clock. I do not believe that is accurate, so we'll try and adjust that here in the timeout. I think we're down to about 11 or 10 minutes, I would venture to guess.
Stories and upcoming pay-per-view games. If you can't get out to the field for future games, visit our website at www.2016worldlax.com. Novus of Field Lacrosse. For more information, please visit www.novus.com.
Well, tomorrow we have a nice lineup of games.
Yeah, run it down for me, Andy.
Yeah, of course, 2 newcomers making their U19 debut, Mexico and China. That'll be a 9:30 a.m. start on our second field. It'll be the lone game on field 2 tomorrow. And then 4 games back to back to back to back at the stadium. Israel making their debut against another newcomer, Hong Kong. And we understand there's going to be about 150 people in Israel watching that live. Ireland will make its debut against returning team Scotland at 1 o'clock Pacific. Taiwan making their first ever FIL tournament appearance, not just at the U19 level, but overall. They play Germany at 4 p.m. Pacific. And then England and the Iroquois Nationals, 7:30 p.m. start time here from the stadium. And Jake, you'll have that one on play-by-play here.
Absolutely, and I just asked our camera guy to get a shot of the lights under the rain just to kind of give you an idea on how hard it's coming down here at Town Center tonight. But
Slip and slide.
Yes, looking at the extended forecast, though, as I open my weather app on my trusty iPhone here, looks like it'll clear for Saturday. And Sunday will be sunny, a few clouds, and then back to rain for Monday, Tuesday. Back underway, and Canada will strip that one on a good double team, and they'll start upfield here. As Peterson waits for it midfield. And now Jeff Teat. Canada's going to have to start to go quickly here. Down 6 with just over a half a quarter to go. Leclerc inside. Can't pull the trigger down to the crease. There's Semple on the shot. And there's no backup for Canada, and behind the goal, it'll go back to the States. Better offense, though. They created a good scoring chance quickly. Long bounce pass on the mark. And that's Dylan Johnson. And USA will clear easily. And Sowers, who's run miles in behind that cage for USA here tonight. I don't think he's come off the field.
Oh, and if he has, it's only been to get a little bit of water and go back out there. He has been non-stop making these defenders move behind the cage.
There he is one more time. And he's got Timmy Kelly near side. As they'll work the perimeter here with Conrad. And now Tyler Dunn. Kelly pressured quickly. In the right-handed, one-handed cradle, step in, and that one fired just wide, and then a late hit and a late flag comes in. This one's going to go against Team Canada.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's an undisciplined penalty. You don't need that. I believe that was Peterson taking the penalty. No, 71 for Canada. That's Ryland Reese, local Port Coquitlam boy.
Yes, also member of that Canadian pipeline down to Stony Brook.
There's a nice ring to it, the Canadian pipeline. Of course, pipeline politics in BC, we may not want to talk about that on air.
We don't want to put people to sleep. Feet into the stack, and that one off a Canadian stick. Tried to toe drag out of there with it was Henrik, and it was taken right back by USA.
Yeah, nice Lucy there from Rosner. He's had a really good game for the United States. A little bit quieter than some of the others, but another nice loose ball.
Smith, O'Keefe. There's Smith down to goal line extended. It's Kelly on the drive, and Hebert stuffs him. Key stop there for the Canadian goaltender.
A little bit of Canadian muscle at the end of that, finishing the hit. Reminding the U.S. attacker, Kelly, what field they're on.
Hebert pretty confident with the stick. Did he step back in the crease? He did with the ball. Can't do that. I was just about to say Hebert very confident with the stick and then had it stolen away but got it back, but then stepped in his own crease. So USA will retain possession here with just over 8 minutes to go in this opening contest of the 2016 U19 Field Lacrosse Championships, as a full slate of games set for tomorrow. These two teams will have the day off, and you really got to wonder, Andy, you know, the opening ceremonies, obviously it's a special thing and something you want to be a part of. But Canada and USA kind of have to come out early, stand around on the field for upwards of an hour and then try and regain their focus, head into the locker room, and come out for a warm-up. Not an ideal situation for either team to start off a tournament, but it looks like USA has really kind of handled that adversity much better than Canada has.
Yeah, and I mean, another penalty there for Canada as we're chatting here. Pedersen on the hold. It's, it's probably a little bit too, is there some added pressure on Canada for being the host? Yeah. I think anytime you're the host nation, and for a lot of these kids, it's they're away from home, they're away from Ontario. The majority of this team, an Ontario roster, but it still is your home country, and there's still that added pressure. So get the jitters out, I guess, now.
Canada will clear here, as that is Rylan Reese. Canada's still short-handed here.
Man, you could just see the moisture coming off that stick as the ball hit it. It's just soggy down there.
Yeah, getting comments coming in that, the mesh technology, if you will, has come leaps and bounds over the past decade or so, and the rain not quite affecting the mesh like it used to back in the day. There's so many mesh companies out there now. Canada in possession, back to even strength. Here's T. Down low. Can't get underneath, but there's a shot and a goal. As it's Benny French who makes it 10-5.
No pressure wearing number 22 and being a left-hand shot for Canada.
That takes some, to put that number on your back for Team Canada.
Well, that was a nice move, though. Excellent roll dodge. Got his defender to fall down and then managed to find short side high on.
And that really looks to be the spot on Clan for the left-handers, that short side.
So a big goal there for Canada to cut the lead in half. 10-5 now the U.S. leads. Just under 6 minutes left in this one.
Nacho. Feliciani back at the X. Looked like an early move, but timing it perfectly apparently was, actually that was Hemmingson that took that drop. As USA features 3 different draw guys on this roster. And a couple of guys picking up injuries just before this tournament, and maybe none more important than Sipinski.
Yeah.
The Hopkins product that unable to go for this tournament, and it's just got to be devastating for a kid like that because, you can be a certain age and never get a chance to play into this tournament just because of when you were born, because it only comes around every 4 years, but to make the team and then get injured and not be able to play in the tournament has just got to be crushing for a young man.
Though it is a testament, as the stall goes on here on the U.S., it is a testament to how competitive, not just for Team USA, but how competitive both the Canadian and U.S. training camps were. Just to make it through that is a testament. And while it might be frustrating for the player, nice shot there by Sowers.
Hebert came out and double flags come in late here. As Hebert came out, as they went for the double team on the ball carrier, and Hebert picked up the open man. And Sowers just so quick and such a good stick, just found open space and no chance for Hebert to scramble back to the cage. As 2 flags come in late on Team Canada. And USA makes it 11-5 now, and will have possession on the man up after the goal.
Yeah, a little unnecessary roughness. I think the Canadian frustration showing a little bit there. As Sowers came in and scored. I think a little bit of a late hit there, maybe a little bit of a high hit, but certainly, Canada, full credit for having a stronger second half here, but that's a penalty you can't take if you're trying to claw back into the game.
Former Team Canada, Joe French, chiming in, saying 10 minutes, plenty of time, but we're down to 3.5 now, and Canada facing an uphill battle.
Yeah, and to Mr. French's point, and a former player here, and obviously his dad, part of the management staff with this team as well. 10 is a lot, and the way the U.S. has controlled the ball, there would be a change in strategy required, and a little bit more of a double. And we're seeing Canada, even though they're man down right now, pressuring the ball. And
that gets you out of your game plan. The score will dictate what you have to do defensively, but USA has just stayed within themselves the entire time, and long, set, controlled possessions have been the order of the evening here for Nick Myers, and USA has played it to a T.
Scorekeeping correction. The penalty to number 11, Jeffrey Henrik, is 1 minute unnecessary roughness.
Well, it's a 1 minute personal against Henrik for unnecessary roughness. And Timmy Kelly will find a loose ball. And USA, even with the man-up advantage here, in no hurry to go to goal.
Excellent save there on the line for Smith with the stall on the power play. I'm sorry, now that we're even strength again.
Yeah. And rain is picked right back up here. It's coming down hard here in Coquitlam right now.
You know, I will say this game has proven, though, that the skill level in the blue division is going to be really, really top-notch, and both teams have some tremendous talent here. A privilege to be able to watch this one.
Kelly with a bouncer gets it to go. And it's the biggest lead of the game now for USA, 12-5, as Kelly gets another.
Again, finding some open space, finding a hole through the middle there, just managed to pull the Canadian defender Subic out of the way, and excellent little finish there as he drove through the middle. Again, though, we're at a stage in the game right now where, you know, you're now playing for the next game, and you're starting to see what you can do to be able to prepare yourself. Of course, Canada with a Saturday night game, they will face England. England will be on a back-to-back after playing the Iroquois on Friday night. And the United States will play Australia, a team that will be rested and hasn't played its first game yet. So a lot of Aussie fans here actually in the crowd. I expect that they will be potentially the loudest fans.
They get into their sports in Australia. There's no question about that. Has there ever been a shot clock in international play?
Not in the FIL.
Okay.
It's certainly something that's been discussed at multiple levels. You know, talking with Dave Huntley and a few other people, there's always discussions going on about how do you speed up the game, how do you make it better, and I've heard everything in the last year from looking at a 7-on-7 variety of field lacrosse to bringing that shot clock in at the FIL level. That was certainly a big topic of discussion after Denver.
It's really that simple, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah.
Just bring in the shot clock. I mean, it's lacrosse. It's the fastest game on 2 feet, and that just drives scoring when you force teams to play fast.
But I mean, here we are, 12 to 5. We've got 17 goals without a shot clock.
Fair enough.
You know, part of me thinks, well, are we in a situation where we really need it? Up for debate.
Well, let's get the goalie's perspective. Dylan Ward. We're getting requests to have Dylan Ward on the broadcast crew. Dilly, I got a couch for you if you want to make your way up to BC. Be more than happy to throw a headset on you. What do you think? Should international lacrosse have a shot clock? I don't know if Team Canada wins that game against Team USA if they have one. So it's a debate that's been out there for quite some time. I don't know what the correct answer is, but I would like to see the game speed up somewhat. Here comes another flag against Canada.
1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter.
Sims from behind the goal. We got a minute to go in this one, and USA will start this tournament 1-0. And Canada will go to 0-1. They will play England next. That comes up on Saturday. But we will be here all week long and have the blue division for you, play-by-play at least. All games will be streamed for you. But only the select blue division games will have the play-by-play, Andy. So you've been doing double duty here tonight. I know you got a lot of hats you're wearing right now. Is there any pertinent information you need to get out there to the fans before we get out of here?
No, those of you watching in BC that maybe want to come out and watch the games, single-day passes are $25 for adults, $20 for youth aged 6 to 18. And, of course, those of you that are doing the single-game subscription know that you can get a full tournament pass for $45 Canadian. That's at worldlax.tv, the same place you subscribe to the game today. We encourage you to sign up. We'd love to hear feedback, too, if you want to if you want to post on our Facebook page or Twitter page, we'd love to hear from you. And just appreciate your support and patronage as we try and help grow the game here and share this wonderful game with everyone.
USA runs out the clock, and they will run onto the field and down to their goaltender, Willie Clan, who was exceptional for Team USA here tonight. Your final score, USA 12, Team Canada 5, as it's a 7-goal victory for the Stars and Stripes in the opening game of this 2016 U19 World Field Lacrosse Championships. What do we do here, Andy? We got player of the game coming up, or do we get out of here? What do you want to do here?
Yeah, well, I mean, no formal player of the game, but it certainly, for me, it was Michael Sowers that stood out for me for the United States. I thought he had a tremendous game. I think Willie Clan played really well in the cage for the U.S. And the bright spot, I think, for Canada, the defense played well, and I thought Inacio was really good on the draw.
Hebert was strong. Trey Leclerc with a pretty good game as well. But that will wrap it up here for us tonight. We will be back at it for a 4 o'clock face-off. First game coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow's first game will be for Jake.
For me.
Yes, will be the Taiwan-Germany game, seeing Taiwan in their debut. And then the Iroquois will be playing England.
Okay, so I better...
or maybe we just have you for the nightcap. I can't remember, Jake.
We'll check my schedule. Either way, you know where to find us tomorrow and for the rest of this one as the two teams will shake hands. Thanks for joining us tonight. Game 1 is in the books, and it was a 12-5 victory for Team USA over Team Canada. Thanks for our whole production crew here at Sports Canada TV. Thanks to Novus for putting it on. Andy Watson, I have been Jake Elliott, and for the fastest game on 2 feet, and for the creator, we'll see you next time.